Welcome to the Women Are Worthy show. Do you guys see this grin on my face? Oh my God. Okay, let me not fangirl right now. Okay. First of all, thank you for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. Thank you for supporting the Women Are Worthy show. Now, let me get through the general housekeeping before my team gets on me. If you want to join our tribe, you must subscribe. I came up with that one, y'all. And our YouTube channel is the Women Are Worthy Network. It's the Women Are Worthy Network. Our Facebook channel is the Women Are Worthy Show, and our Instagram is the Women Are Worthy Show. So go on, join, subscribe, like our page. Okay, so today's show is very special to me. I have Cobb County District 1, my district, County Commissioner Keli Gambrill. This woman is phenomenal. And by the end of the show, you're going to see how phenomenal she is. Welcome, Commissioner. How are you?
Good, Jacqueline. How are you?
I am just right now. I hit the lotto. I am on a beach in Bali right now. The sun is beaming because I got you on the show. Thank you for being an awesome host.
Thank you.
So I want people to know more about who you are, where District 1 is, because I think so many people, they're not sure in Cobb County. So can we talk about the district and the line, Cobb, Kennesaw, Ackworth, exactly where you serve and exactly what is a county commissioner and what do you guys do?
District 1 is quite a large district. There are actually 4 districts within the county. District 1 is considered the western portion of the county. So we start at the Paulding-Bartow line, and then we go through Ackworth up to where 75 touches, and then we dip down underneath KSU, run through Kennesaw, and then we are on the south side of McCollum Airport, and then we come down to Barrett Parkway, and then we start heading out south from there, and we go all the way to the Macklin line. We pick up a little bit of the city of Marietta, but then we also touch Paulding County. So it's a quite big and diverse portion of the county because we have 3 cities and then we have the rural living here as well. What does a district commissioner do? We are the ones that essentially take care of your roads and set your taxes. First, your taxes that we set go to maintain your parks, your senior centers, your libraries, the roads, the things that make our community great.
I want people to understand. So I want people to engage in what's going on because so often we hear complaints. I believe in looking for solutions. And I want people to get engaged by getting involved with your newsletter, by coming to the Board of Commissioners meeting. If you can't come, at least go online. So I've posted everything, as everyone can see. You know, the Board of Commissioners office is located at 100 Cherokee Street, Marietta, Georgia, 30090. And also, let me tell you the dates. The Board of Commissioners meeting is the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month. The 2nd Tuesday, the meetings are scheduled for 9 a.m. and the 4th Tuesday, it's scheduled at 7 p.m. So I want people to get engaged. And if you can't go, at least, go online. So can you please tell us how long have you been a commissioner?
Well, my term started in January 1st of 2019, and our terms run for 4 years. So I'm technically starting my junior year, the 3rd year.
So Keli, question. I've read your resume. I've spoken with you. As I said, she's definitely a worthy woman. What made you want to run or be involved in local government and as county commissioner? Please tell us.
It kind of, a lot of folks, it starts this way. We purchased our home and then there was land behind us and we asked what could be built there. We were okay with what was going to be built. And then the yellow rezoning sign went up. And instead of having 1 house in my backyard, I was going to have 13, to which I said no. And I quickly learned how to get up in front of the board and advocate for my homeowner rights. And in doing so, I now have 2 homes in my backyard. But when development started, they raised the land 6 feet behind me and then tipped it. So all the water then started flowing onto my property. So then it went from defending my property rights to having to protect my property from damage. So I was constantly going to the county trying to get it remedied. and wasn't getting anywhere. So again, I had to get up in front of the board. I made a lot of presentations, and then finally, then Chairman Sam Owens put me in touch with then Community Development Director Rob Hozak and said, help this gal. And so I started working with Rob, and then he started asking me to serve on various committees. I helped write code, helped review code, looked at comp plans, different planning, design study guidelines. And I just started learning more about our community and how I could get engaged. Yet then I started learning how other people were facing similar situations as I was. So then I started taking my knowledge and helping them. It wasn't until 2018 when we started talking about that 30, 60, $90 million deficit that the accounting side of me said, well, the only way you get to a 30, 60, or $90 million deficit is if you're spending more money than you have available to you, which of course we all know the only money we have available to us is from the taxpayers. So that's what kind of set me up to decide to run, and here I am today.
Sherry Green says hello. Hello, Paula. Hi, Alexis. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I like the fact that you didn't just, hey, I have some issues. You actually jumped in. And what I know of her, ladies and gentlemen, Keli will roll up. She may start blushing, but I'm going to let a little secret out. She will actually roll up her sleeves. So if you're digging, she's not going to give you directions. I promise you. She's going to go get the shovel, roll up her sleeves, and if she's wearing whatever she's wearing, she's definitely going to help you dig until you find the answers. Saw how I did that, y'all? Saw I did that? But it's the truth, and it's good that you're working with someone who is all about connecting the community, and she's not concerned about just District 1. This is what I like about you, Keli. It's not just about the district that you serve. You want to serve all of Cobb. It doesn't matter what districts. You're willing to collaborate with other commissioners, because I'm listening and I hear, that's the word on the street about you, okay? Let me tell you what the gossip is. You are willing to support other people. You are willing to, it's not like, well, that's not my district, I'm not going to touch it. You're not stepping on the other commissioner's toes. You're just willing to, how can I help? Because if I help you and that's your district, that helps the entire Cobb. So I want to say I thank you for doing that. I'm really impressed by you doing that. You're not territorial, and I like that.
Thank you. The decisions that face my district face everyone in the county. Just like the problems that I had with my property, everyone has had those properties or those problems, but how do you solve them? And sometimes it is overwhelming. Let's face it, government is overwhelming. So to be able to simplify it and find a result, that has been so fulfilling as being a commissioner, in knowing that, I've helped the homeowner overcome something that seemed just insurmountable at times.
Where do you see Cobb County, let's say, in 3 years? Your vision.
My vision. Well, a lot of that vision is changing slightly because of the current pandemic. We're not sure how things are going to be changing and shaping. If we are going to be going from a more office type setting to a work at home setting, do we need to still look at doing transit? Do we need to look at changing how our shopping centers are done because of the way consumers are changing their shopping habits? So I think we're in a big period of change right now. I see that change being positive, but I also see us having to be very innovative in using what we have to help with those changes, to keep everything viable. So how that's going to look, I think, again, depending on how we come through this pandemic, if the vaccine is successful and people start going back out, if we do return to an office setting or not, and then how we address it from there.
We have another phenomenal woman. Her name is Alexis, and she wants to know, what steps would someone take if they're looking to run for office, such as a commissioner or a mayor?
I want to know clearly what the job means. A commissioner, again, our basic roles are setting the millage rate, and then establishing policy or modifying policy. So those are our basic roles. But also, as a commissioner, you have to be able to help your constituents and direct them to various departments. I am very fortunate. I have a wonderful assistant, Ryan Williams,
Yes.
that he is great. If people call in, he helps them find the right department. So that way, again, this unknown becomes easier. We also have to be able to ask questions, engage, and it's more of a heart of servitude. I think when you become an elected official, because there's days it can be a lot of hours, but just knowing that you've made a better day for someone else really makes a difference. But if you're looking to run for office, go out there. The ACCG, and even within our own Cobb County Code, clearly defines what the role of a commissioner is. And while that's what's on paper, we all know that sometimes our roles get bigger than that, just because of expectations that are needed. And then as far as, if you want to become a mayor of a city, again, know the different parts, know that a mayor it's just not, he leads a, council meeting. He's in charge of finance, parks, DOT, property. Know how all those work together and have ideas on how you can try to make them better.
And, thank you for explaining that. So what I'm hearing is because of the pandemic, we have to pivot. We may not necessarily have, because Cobb County, it's the transportation. More people are working remotely, working from home. So that may not be on the top of the list because this pandemic is going to be here for a while. Let's face it.
Right.
Okay. So instead of going on the top of the list, we can probably put that down and look at more pressing matters. Now, let's say Biden inaugurated tomorrow and he reached out to you and he said, Keli, I'm going to give District 1 $1 million and I'm presenting it to you and I need you to do what you think you need to do with it. What would you do with that $1 million, Keli?
$1 million would only build 1 mile of sidewalk throughout Cobb County. A mile of sidewalk isn't much if you think about that. For my district, I know we have a lot of traffic flow issues, and that's, again, while we're set up on a grid system, we don't have many options to get out of that grid system. So $1 million isn't going to go far to solve a lot of, our problems out here. But I know the biggest thing that people face is being able to come home at night. And when you leave the office, for those that are still going into the office, you really want to get home. And you want to get home in an efficient, short time period. But we do have some major traffic issues that need to be resolved out in, especially West Cobb. If you get away from Cobb Parkway, that needs to be addressed. So that would be one of them. And again, is it going to changing some streets to be one way during certain hours to allow traffic to flow quicker? Or do we just try to change the flow of traffic? There's a lot of things that we need to look at.
What is your platform for someone who lives in District 1 and their nose is to the grind, they have no idea who's who? What is your platform?
3 things, and one of those was following the land use plan, which to those means making sure that we have appropriate development where it belongs. We don't want to see tightly packed houses next to our rural farm areas, because that's just not what is expected there. My other one was to be fiscally responsible, which I have done. I tend to be a lot of the ones on some of our 4-1 votes, because a lot of times the board is being asked to approve to start projects that we don't have funding for. Well, that's the quickest way you get into a 30, 60, $90 million deficit, is if you're approving projects that you don't know where your funding is going to be coming from. And then my third one was just transparency and accessibility. And many people know that if they need something, again, email, call, we are there to serve you and help you.
The fact that you're saying that, because you're look, y'all, she's fiscally savvy. Trust me on that, okay? She's going to squeeze that nickel. Which is good, because you want someone like that. You want someone that, okay, just because the money's there, you're not spending it however you want to. You're making sure that it's going to make sense and you're going to get something back, So